Good evening, Legonauts. How are you doing on this wonderful Wednesday? So, gonna get do a little bit of updates. So we might have a launch this Friday with SpaceX with the Starship Heavy. Might be streaming. I think they're still waiting on the FAA to uh, write off the flight. So we'll see. If you see me on Friday, it'll be good. Oh, that's good, Johnny. Got all your stuff ready for the weekend? Good to go? And Johnny Bills will be up there with Steel City Lug at the Erie Comic Con um, this weekend. They'll have a humongous Hoth display going on. Should be fun. Was enjoying last night's stream while he was trying to build some explosion type dioramas. So hopefully everything will go good this weekend for you. And if you need a co-host, just let me know and I'll definitely back you up on that. So let me pull this up. Open. Just went through and reorganized all my files because my whole desktop was a disaster area. Just like my build table right now is a complete disaster area. Been doing a lot of testing, been doing a lot of building, making sure things would work. Just trying to get it all going. And don't know if I showed it last week. I'm pretty sure I did, but I got a lot of work done on the Orbital Launch Mount and the Orbital Launch Intergration Tower, the OLM or OLT if you want to use the acronyms. Not so much in the way of details. Today I sat down today and did the quick disconnect mount arm. Should rotate, but as of right now this is just a wireframe of what I want to do. Nothing's really connected, it's just all sitting there. I gotta see how I can do it. The same with this up here. I still gotta figure out how to do this whole back end half. I mean, they're all just in there. I hate to do it, but I've been thinking about this a lot lately. And if Lego were to do a big build like this, I honestly think they would, or a kit or something along this lines, I think they would actually probably make a few new parts just to be able to get a certain look they were going for. So did some research and I might be unfortunately destroying some Lego by sanding and maybe getting these angles right, and then creating a silicone mold and doing an epoxy pour just to get a couple of these parts and pieces where I need them. Still haven't decided that as of right now, but that's what I'm leaning toward. I think it'd be a fun process just to see the production side on how to create a Lego piece, a homemade Lego piece. But we'll see what happens with that. And then these both will swing open. As far as hydraulics are going, I haven't thought about putting hydraulics on here. for a couple reasons. I think a lot of it's going to be static, which leads me up to the tower top. I could do movement on this. I have the cable pretty much ready. I got to do a little bit more work because I just saw a good side view of this with one of Elon Musk's posts, where this is up here. You can actually see the wire come up and over and come down, and I think that would free up a little bit more space in here, but as of right now, this is pretty much what I'm going with, because then the cable, the cable or the wire would come back, hit at least, the wire will come back, hit this, and if I got my angles correct, it should come. And these will have to be modified as well. These tires or the rims. They got. I went through Parts Designer and put a 3mm hole in the center of it, just so it would accept on here. A couple other pieces, and they're just the bars. They will have to be modified as well. But I don't know how well this design is going to be, for the sheer fact that the left-hand side, as we're looking right now, this side would be called the dead anchor side, meaning there's a spool. This will go all the way down to the bottom. The crane cable goes all the way down to the bottom, and then it gets spits out here onto a spool, and this wire will never move. They have a giant cable spool here, and it's basically for if they have a frayed cable or something, they can pull enough out to replace the entire system without having to completely dismantling the entire crane system. And then on the other side, this will be the drawwork side. Wire cable would come down, do the same thing, hit here, and then it actually goes down about halfway to right underneath this the quick disconnect arm, and then it shoots out, and then it goes directly down on the outside of the building to the actual motors or the drawworks, and then this will be under a lot of strain, and whatnot. So, but this is where I get the feeling there would be so much tension on this that, because this is about 1.5 pounds worth of Lego, just sitting right here. I get the feeling that if there's too much tension on it, these won't hold, and I'll have to figure something else out to do that, because my biggest worry is that it'll be fine up here. As soon as you get tension on this first bend right here to go out here, this will snap off, then the whole thing will just end up dropping down. So as much as I would like to move it, I think what I'm going to probably end up doing, and this needs to be completely redesigned. This was just a temporary thing to get me to line up everything to the top here. And that's about it. And then if I get rid of these, I'm just gonna start calling the cradle here. It reminds me of the sloth. So I'm just gonna start calling it the sloth cradle. Um, just because if you back up out of it, just reminds me of a sloth uh, grabbing hold of a tree, and then you put the wings on it and had its Red Bull. So, but that's pretty much it for the OLM and OLIT, OLIT. Um, oh, and the biggest thing is found this out last night while I was watching Johnny's stream, and I was a little upset, but I'm still kind of proud of it. I managed to break 7 foot, which I knew I would. Uh, that's the wrong thing I was looking for. Model info. The total height with the antenna is 91 inches. I was legitimately 5 inches off from hitting that 8 foot mark. So, yeah, to me it was a little bit of a bummer, but at the same time, this would be my tallest structure uh, ever created, and I don't know how. I mean, I know it won't fit in my living room. If I put it on the ground and build it all the way to the top, it would definitely be hitting my ceiling. So that's how tall this thing is going to be. Then my next concern, and this is later down the road once I start getting this built, um, is how much sway is this going to have. If I accidentally hit a table or bump a table, is this thing going to come crashing down? That's something I got to think about. I thought about maybe attaching some twine to the or some string to the top and anchoring it down, but I don't know. I think the first time this thing's going to be fully erected will be in Dallas, or excuse me, Austin. Because that's where I plan on taking this, is to Austin, Texas for Brick Rodeo next year, if everything pans out. So my goal right now is to have everything designed by the end of the year, so I can start purchasing Lego for the following 5.5 months, and really starting to get this thing built and escalated. I think there's 24 levels here. I think I'm gonna purchase start purchasing the bricks. I have a lot of the bricks for the base. I'm missing a ton of these. And these Technic bricks are hollow underneath, and this is why this base is so huge. Let me hide a bunch of this stuff, because I have arches placed in there for a fog machine. I do plan on putting a fog machine with this. Pretty hefty one, so the fog will come out just like how it would. Hopefully I can get it to come out just like how the deluge system works on the real one. A lot of the details haven't been put in here yet. All these legs need to be tested, and unfortunately for me to test the legs, I have to purchase everything on top to connect everything. But this isn't such a bad price. I think in total it came to just under $100. What's going to kill me is the tax and shipping. So, and I already got one leg, so I just need to purchase another 5 legs just to test it. No, I didn't think it was all that bad. I mean, this is all common stuff that's currently out on that's in pretty much every kit. I'm just glad I get to use the concrete hot dogs. I did see. I was looking through this today, and I did notice that I have to redo my sidewalls here. In here, they have to be lowered just like they are, and I have to go through and redesign pretty much this entire thing, because when the base of that sits, it actually sinks down just a little bit more than what I thought it would. So to get the heights right, for the quick disconnect, I gotta build this and make sure that the base and everything can be supported in there. So there's a lot more to do. Like I said, this is something that I'm doing off air. This is just to keep my mind off of trying to move ahead with the super heavy booster, and which we'll be going to right now. And I changed some colors on this. I decided to go with the dark purple for the inside instead of the red. I was checking out the prices. 17 cents per piece. I mean, both of them were the same, but because it's SpaceX, I think the darker purple would work better with the color scheme. Just a little personal thing. So today we're gonna be doing a lot of copy and pasting, getting the structure all the way up to the top. Now this top height is the top height of not the current booster height, the past booster height without the new hot staging fix they put on there. So I gotta figure out how much bigger that hot staging is. I'm getting the feeling it's gonna be about three blocks high. Oh, speaking of blocks, I completely overlooked this. I was doing a bunch of math the other day, and excuse me. I was doing a bunch of math the other day, and one stud. Oh, don't you start up studio. Thank you. A little glitch there. Maybe. Studio. Thank you. Just gotta talk nice to it every once in a while. One stud, or one brick, however you want to put it, 8 millimeters equals 1 foot 10.5 inches, roughly. I think it's like 10.35 or 4.5, something like that. But essentially, one brick equals about 1 foot 10.5 inches. Just a little fun fact. Alright. So, once we get started here, and then we'll start going over some details I want to add into this and whatnot in a little bit. But for these, for this layer, this will probably be the only height layer. Everything else, I'm gonna stage. Each one of these, I want it on the rings. I want to make sure they're connected in between the plates. That way, this gap has a good solid connection. Even though this technique I'm about to show you all really encompasses the entire side, but it's still nice to have the clutch power on for these in between the pieces. So, and then we'll just get started. Make sure that's hidden. Want to hide all those. There we go. And then, yeah. And then that way, you know, actually we'll go over here. Go to plate modified, and then we're going to be dealing with a bunch of brackets. Mainly these 1x2 vertical brackets. We will be doing something along these lines. And then as you can see, this right here, I'm just going to put the one, just to line everything up, and then I'm going to put a 1 and then a 4. Now these cross. I'd have to rethink this. It's not working as intended. Righty. Bring these down. Try that the opposite way. And see if we can get a couple bricks and plates in there. Nope. Okay. That's not a big deal. I try to get these all lined up, but sometimes it just doesn't work, which is fine. But oh, thank you, Johnny. Paste. Brick. And see, this is another issue that I've ran into in the past where things don't like lining up. So either I have to go down one or go up one. I would prefer to go down 2. Like that. I believe that works. Yeah, that'll work. And these certain bricks that I'm doing in black, they can be any color. They're just filler. You're not going to see them unless you rip off a side. just like here, this is what Johnny was talking about on his stream last night with a bunch of filler brick. When it comes to Mills plates, and Mills is wait, it's an acronym for Modular Interlocking System, I believe. But just like this underneath, every one of these are in black. They don't have to be that color. They can be any color. Now, that's not to say that's with every single one. Most of the ones that you cannot see, they'll be in black. That way, it just signals that it doesn't have to be that color. It can be anything. And I was kind of teasing Johnny about it last night when he was talking about the fillers. But some people they'll, if this ever gets to instruction stage, they'll follow the instructions to a T. So they'll go out and buy these parts. I mean, you're talking 5, and there's 2 of them. So say 10 cents, 8, 16. So you're looking at 26 cents for each of those, and that's if you can get a good deal. But then you got to worry about shipping and pricing and all that other stuff. But again, you figure you got all this here, and then you got all this underneath. So, I mean, it might cost you 26 cents for one, but when you're doing a large area like this, I mean, you're talking maybe $50, $60, $70 just for filler block. And that's where it can get expensive, especially when you have to do designs like this to incorporate these. Now, the one thing that I do want to point out, and this is something that I was trying to get, is that this tower is legitimately not supposed to look exactly like this. It's supposed to be angled anywhere between 10 and 15 degrees to the left, off, and centered up almost right beside or right in the middle of this pillar here. And I, for the life of me, tried everything in the world to get that degree so I can get these to line up correctly, and I could not do it. I thought of every technique. I searched for almost a week trying to get that base to line up just like the real one, and I'm sure there is a technique out there, but I just, after a week of searching and looking, I just said, yeah, I'm done. Excuse me for 1 second. Sorry about that. Asthma attack. Gotta love it. So, alright. Back over. So we got that. Yeah, I muted it so nobody has to hear me gasping for air. So So here, it's starting to get warm. So, had the air conditioner shut off. Mrs. Vab had to make some important phone calls. So, she had to shut off the air conditioner and do her business. So, all right. Let's see something. I gotta mute one more time real quick. And of course she didn't hear me, so having to text her the door. Alright. Hey Logan, how you doing? So, alright. We can get back on this, and then hopefully that's enough of the distractions tonight. That, that, that work? Oh. And then you want to double check yourself. And that looks like it'll work. So. Whew. Now my lungs have decided to act up. Excuse me, one more second. Yeah, humidity. It affects my lungs pretty bad, especially when I had the air conditioner on. I turn it off and then turn it back on after it warms up in here. Then my lungs just they go berserk. It'll do that for probably the next 15-20 minutes. Hopefully not, but we'll see what happens. Just got out of class, huh? Well, thank you for joining us. Pretty late night class. Especially, well, no, they normally do night classes on Wednesdays. At the college I went to, they did night classes every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then there was no night classes on Monday, Wednesdays, or Fridays. Alright. Well, now that I see this issue, Let's see what colors are cheapest. 19, so 20 cents, 25 cents, 36 cents. So I guess we'll just leave them as light bluish gray. I'm going to hide this for right now. Delete those. I know these work. Oh, and there's that glitch I think Ben was talking about on his stream on Sunday. And then, well, then that's going to mess that up. No, I think we're just going to leave it just like that. Alright. Oh, I know the feeling. But you only have to endure it for 4 years. 5, depending on what you're doing. So, hey, you are. How you doing tonight? We're talking about Logan's social life. Or lack thereof. Oh, yours tired. She didn't get her ice cream this week. Or did you finally get your ice cream, Eeyore? Alright. How do I... Okay, so we're going to do that. This. Oh, Rita's isn't bad. Love their gelatos. Or what's the one that comes with the ice cream and the icy? Those are the ones I really like. First time I had one of those, it shocked me. Do it like this. Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. And then yeah, that's gelato. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been to Rita. Honestly, I haven't been to Rita's in years. Um, the last time I was at Rita's was probably 2013. So it's been about 10 years. And I just made myself feel really old when I said that. Yeah. No, I would go to a mom and pop's ice cream shop over going to Rita's any day of the week. We have one down here where I live, and excuse me. And for $5-6, I mean, you get so much ice cream compared to what you do at Rita's or even Dairy Queen. before I do this, I'll do black, black, 9 cents versus 10 cents. Yeah. Do black on those as well. Now the big question is 33, 20, 29. We're going to go dark bluish gray on those. 40, 33. We'll do a 33 on the bottom brackets. Oh yeah, Steak and Shake. Trust me. I was going to Steak and Shake religiously because I love their shakes. I love getting their foods. I mean, it was an all-in-one stop and it was actually reasonably priced, and then all of a sudden, gone. All the ones in the area went bankrupt. They went tail up. Robinson, PA had one, and we literally went there 1 week. We went and had dinner there 1 week, and then the following week, there was no notice. They just closed the doors. Then we looked for the one out in Pittsburgh Mills, and same thing happened to them. Every single one went out in the area. Do that. Alright. Now we can start copying and pasting. See, I'm going to create that into a submodel. And then doing it this way, it just saves you a bunch of different time. And now we're next to this one. Of course there would be an issue. Yeah. Release that one. Create. And I'm not giving them any names. I'm just going in here. Am I doing that right? I am not doing that right. Okay. That was right. Okay, I see what I did wrong. Return to main model. What is... Just delete it. Yeah, a lot of the... I posted on Twitter last night, about the show and everything. Like, I normally try to do it, but it was right after Elon Musk tweeted. Like, the timing couldn't have been any better. About SpaceX and Starship ready for launch, and it hit, and then I had it kind of like blew up all over on Twitter a little bit. Not much, but you know, it did blow up a little, and I was like, ooh. My phone was going off this morning almost non-stop. Yeah, thank you. It was a timing thing. I don't think I'll ever get that lucky again. It just... after I created the stream and everything last night. But who knows? Is this going on the way I want it to? I think it is. Unfortunately, see where these two plates meet. I'm not getting the coverage that I wanted. So I wanted these to be up kind of like that. Guess I could put a brick in there and see what happens. Yeah, that won't work. Okay, so yeah, well, hopefully, if SpaceX gets their FAA approval, there will be a rocket launch this Friday. If the weather's decent, if not, I heard they were talking about sometime early next week. So we'll see what happens. I do plan on streaming, and the other thing I found out watching a couple of the others is SpaceX will no longer be streaming on YouTube. Everything will be done through Twitter or X, or whatever you want to call it. So, and I think that was a bad decision, personally. Just because they're going to be losing a lot of people that don't use Twitter. And then copy. Actually, I should probably do this. Copy. Oh, I can't copy that just quite yet. I need these. Copy. Paste. No. That gap is killing me. And then another easy way to make sure you're all lined up is will do. Have a good night, you are. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, I've got that. Go back to main model. Now I'm just checking to make sure that all these are lined up. They should be. But as you can tell, I was having a tiny bit of issue with this one. And I need to switch them to the other brackets. See, I went through the same process when I was doing Sea Dragon and my 4XU. It just, on those ones, it worked out nicely and perfectly. These ones, I think because I have them stacked the way they are, um, they're causing a little bit of issue gappage wise. So you have to just take your time with it and make sure you got your everything working. I can deal with that. But the one thing I will say about this technique, um, okay. The one thing I will say about this technique is that this right here, all going all the way up, is very fragile. You'll have a complete ring around of these, but once you get to a certain height, the whole thing is very fragile. Once you get these plates on the side, that's where it draws all its strength. They're like back braces. They draw all their strength on it, and once you put those on there, you can roll this, and it'll be. Actually, I think fragile is French for something. I don't know what, but I'm pretty sure it's French. As I get a copyright strike for quoting a movie. Alright. Go with that. Black. We'll go with dark gray on those. These ones really don't matter too much. 7 cents for a dark gray? That's insanity. 8 cents? Okay, I think we're sticking with the light bluish gray. I gotta switch these ones up. It's a dark bluish gray. Do. There we go. Since they're cheaper, I'm just trying to think of a price as we build here. Get cheaper price, but that's only a 6-month average price. So if you can get them all ordered at the same time, say these pieces right here, these brackets, if you can get them all of them ordered at the same time from the same company, you can definitely save a bunch of money. But chances are you're not going to, and every company has a different price, so it's a variance on the prices with Lego. And these are going to be black. So I believe those jumpers, 42, 20. Black jumpers are 42 cents. Whew. I guess we're going to go with dark tan on those ones. Actually, I'm going to cut these, put them in here. Well, actually, no, I don't. And then there's a reason why. It's because when I go to copy and paste this up to the next level, this will probably be different. Okay. Yeah, that's what they're saying. 42 cents for black jumpers. 42.3. That's why I said, hey, that doesn't seem right to me. And yeah, like I said in the beginning of the show, a lot of copy and pasting. So I didn't expect it to take me this long to look at everything. But it's all good. Create that into another sub, and then I can just do this copy. Paste it. Yeah, I would go with a brighter color like that, but just in case somebody does want to say I do get instructions out for this. A person who's building it will usually keep to the instructions, keep to the parts and piece count. Even though if I put it in the instructions saying any of these pieces can be any color, you're really not going to see them. I try to do the cheapest, but at the same time, I also want it to look good. So I kind of do a middle ground. At least I try to. With doing a lot of this stuff. Now I'll build mine exactly to the way I designed it. That way I can say, yes, it cost me exactly this much to build this, the way I designed it. And that's usually, I'll do a mid-range. I do like doing a mid-range price. I said, you can get it, if you buy it all brand new, this is going to be your high-end price. If you buy it used bricks, that's going to be your low end. But everybody has different ways of doing things and different ways of thinking about it. And that's the thing about Lego. There is no one right way. That into a submodel. Copy. Paste. And this is how it will look without the skin. Now, what time? Oh, it's 9 o'clock already. Alright. So this will essentially be what it looks like. All the way up. I'll do this off stream. I'll get it ready for next week's show. I'll get it up to the top. whatnot, and then we'll take it from there, just to give you an idea what you can do, what this technique entails. It's a lot of repeat, and so far with everything right now you're looking at, and it just updated. Now this is also including all the sides, and even this I can even probably get rid of that for right now. Go back to model info. Yeah, that my ruler was actually $20 something. So, but as of right now, as it stands, the estimated cost. Now, this is not including shipping or tax or anything like that. Just for the Lego pieces, is right around $605. But that's everything you see here. So but I did want to get into a little bit of the detailing tonight. Really show you what I had in mind. So, and let me pull up a reference image. Super heavy booster. Okay, open. Pull up my reference photo. So now I believe this is on one of the older boosters, and it's changed since then. They, instead of it being smooth side after the engine housing, so we're looking at everything from here on up. We got these triangular pieces, which are these ones on each of the corners. This actually on the new one got deleted. This is where the hydraulics were to move and rotate the engines. It was that whole brain of the operation right here. During the last launch, that was one of the things that exploded off off the booster when it was launched in midair. So they lost all type of gimbaling and everything from this. They switched everything from hydraulic to electric motor. And then they have all these vanes for strength going up on it now. So the only issue that I completely forgot about with this, and this was, I did that weeks ago, was that I gotta figure out how to get that to work with all of this here, just to be able to get that detail in there, because let me bring that one in. Model reference. Oh, desktop. Okay, where did I put it? It was on my desktop. Now it's not. I must have put it in other. Ah, there it is. So I know this is probably a little bit bad image. It's not the best image in the world, but you can zoom in on it pretty good. So let me see if I can get this. Something like that. So, even in this far off image, you got your stripes right here, the little greens, or the grill look on the bottom here, and then that's the last ring right before the engine, and then you have all these veins and everything. So that's the look I was trying to go for. And then about midway up, this is where the tanks differ. Excuse me. This is like the inner stage between the tanks. One will have the methane, and then the other one has the oxygen in there to make the methalox. That's actually a new feature. What you do is you go to Model, and then come down here to Add Reference. And then you can blow it up or shrink it down however you want. But that's a relatively new feature. I don't know what version. I think it was an update two or three updates ago. So if you haven't updated Studio in a while, you might not have it on there. So yeah, and it's great because then I don't have to keep on flicking between screens, and you guys will be able to see what I'm seeing here and going in and doing whatnot. But it's also great for scaling. I actually, let me pull up a reference image that I used actually today. It was this one. It was this guy right here. I just laid it down flat. Excuse me. I laid it down flat, and then all I did was I scaled it to where I needed it. I made an outline of the quick disconnect arm for the top view down. And then from that point, I used other reference images and everything to build to build a wireframe of this, of the quick disconnect arm. Is it exact? No, but it's close enough for what I needed. So, but that's my trick for next week. Get rid of that. Get rid of that one. If I can figure it, there we go. So for next week, I am going to have, get my scale ruler back on there. It tells me which direction I've been working. Let me get these hidden real quick. So for next week, I'll have this all completely designed all the way to the top. And if I get a creative spark, I'll try to get at least this done, this bottom portion. and then we'll figure out where the inner stage is. Like I said, it's about the middle, and then at the top we got to figure out grid fins, a bunch of other things, and then we can start really putting on the details that you see that you just normally see: piping, wiring, electrical stuff, decals if we need to, those sort of things. At least that's a tentative plan for right now. Just to get this really finished, and to make sure I can even do it now, but I kind of want to get all of it done before I actually place it in this model, just to make sure that my height is where my height is supposed to be, and that these arms and everything are going to work and where they're supposed to be. So that's what I'm gearing toward for right now. And like I said, I got a lot of work ahead of me before the end of the year. And I am really looking forward to start working on the interior detailing of the pipes and everything going down in here. Getting the drawworks all done for this tower. Seeing the super heavy come to life finally, and getting those the grid fins on this, and then just seeing it all being brought together. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I hope it was informative as well as entertaining. I know Johnny was booming in the chat. I think he was doing that because I did it last night. But he's definitely in an explosive mood for this weekend. And I hope him and Steel City Lug the best of luck this weekend. Hope everything goes smoothly and according to plan. So, and then I'll see everybody again next Wednesday at 8. Oh, also should be streaming tomorrow night on Ben's channel for Technique Thursday. So hope to see you tomorrow night, and maybe Friday. Be streaming all day, just working on this and waiting hopefully for a launch. So until then, have a good night.